and welcome to our very initial podcast for Rolling in the Ozarks. We are excited to kind of get this started, and we are kind of all new to this whole group format, and we hope you enjoy our conversations and what we say. First of all, I'm just going to introduce myself real quick, and then everybody else can say their names. And then what we want to do initially is just kind of like tell you who we are. So my name is Gentry. I usually go by Gentrovo on this digital media format. So who else is joining me here today?
So hi, I'm Josh. You will see me either go by Josh or Jay. So that's mine.
Next.
I'm Anthony. I'm also known as Hubble because there's too many Anthonys in our Warhammer club.
Yes, there are. Hi, I'm Randy. I joined Feast Brigade here as a local group that we have here in the Northwest Arkansas area. We're all four a part of it. It's a local gaming group that we play AOS and other games together. I joined about September last year, so it's been about 6 months. So yeah.
Well, has it been that long already?
Yeah.
Wow.
I just realized it was my year. Like I had a year, because I missed Hawgpit this year, which we'll talk about later.
Wow.
But the Hawgpit was my introductory, Feast Brigade.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah,
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
God.
And to start, Josh and I started Feast Brigade 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
2 years ago now. Time is flying by. So much fun.
Look at that. We have our own digital platform now. Look at this.
It's growing.
We love to see it.
For this podcast, we're going with Rolling in the Ozarks. That is our moniker. That is our name, and we're sticking to it, right? We thought it'd be a good idea to kind of give everybody just an insight of who we are as people and what got us into the hobby, right? And so I think I told the crew member I'm going to go first. I'm going to set the precedent here. My name is Gentry Collier. I've done Warhammer since I was about 11 to 12 or 13 years old. I don't know if I want to reveal the actual year that was because it's going to age me more so than anything, but I will say it was when Hero Quest was new. So that's how long I've actually been Warhammer. I got started as a shop kid. So my dad bought and sold Warhammer stuff for a long time. He got into a business with a guy in the late 90s, early 2000s. They opened a shop called T-Shirt Explosion. Well, actually, Brian Priest formerly opened, or he was the owner of T-Shirt Explosion. And then my dad kind of got out of it because he wasn't making money, right? But I basically grew up a shop kid, played Warhammer and from the early 90s until, the early 2000s. Then I got out of it for a bit just because, family life and that stuff. But around 2015-16 or so, a game came out called Warhammer Underworlds. And I super got into that and loved it and was like, hey, I heard AOS is a new style of Warhammer because I played the old rank and file stuff. So I was like, I don't know, I'm just going to play Warhammer Underworlds, it's cool. And then I met a couple of Feast Brigade guys. I met Garrett, I met John, I met some other people, and they started luring me into the dark side doing AOS, and I finally started playing. And I was able to meet up with the Feast Brigade bros and gals and be part of their crew, man. And so I've been playing AOS pretty steadily for about a year and a half now. But that's my background for it. So that's why I'm here, man.
Yeah. I guess I'll go next. So again, hi, Josh, or Jay. If you see me in BCP stuff or in other places, I go by Jay McBride. I got into AOS about 4 or 5 years ago, which is kind of weird to think about. And I got into it because I had been playing Total War, Warhammer 2, which I feel like is a lot of people's intro to the setting nowadays.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, this is sick. I love this. And then I heard about the fact that Warhammer Fantasy Battles was dead, and I was like, oh, well, boo GW. And someone, I forget who, actually, it's probably a guy named Steve Morrison, who works at Pletchermania in Parker, Colorado. I think he was like, hey, so, Fantasy Battles is dead, but this thing called Age of Sigmar. And I was like, that sounds cool. What's going on with these? Oh, they're steampunk sky dwarf pirates. Carriage and overlords. And I was like, yeah, I'm the most in. And so started as a KO player, and then I was trying to get a friend of mine into the hobby. And so we split a Fury of the Deep box, which was a 3rd edition box that had Fire Slayers and Idoneth Deepkin in it. And I was like, oh, I really want these Fire Slayers, because that'd be good for my carriage rend. It'd be great. And my friend goes, yeah, I think I want the Fire Slayers. And I was like, well, Wet Elves for me. Yeah, played KO for a while, played Idoneth for the better part of a year and a half in competitive AOS. And like, I did okay. I was perfectly fine as a competitive player. And then I recently, about 2 years ago, got into Flesh Eater Courts. So, insane vampires who think they're brave Arthuric knights, which I love. And then now, recently came back to Idoneth. I've been building Seraphon, so lizardmen doing lizardmen things. And then have been loosely bullied myself, unsure exactly of which, in the Heed Knights of Slanesh.
We're all pushing for that, man. We're all pushing for that.
Yeah, no, that's the.
He's gonna bully us so much.
Listen,
he's gonna
Mark
make your.
survived.
He's gonna table me turn 2 nonstop.
I don't know. But yeah, so then I played competitive AOS in Colorado, and then moved out to Arkansas in the Ozarks here, and I live like proper in the hills, which is quite nice. Anthony's a friend of mine from college, way back in the day, and I was like, we had kind of talked about Warhammer a few times, and then it was like, well, maybe we do a little club, make a little club here. And so it was me, Anthony, and another one of our friends, whose name is also Anthony, which is why I refer to him as Herbaugh, and Anthony here is Hubble. We're on the way to a little tournament, and we were like, we need a team name, and I will let Hubble pick up the rest of that story, because it's great.
So that's a great transition here. Here we go.
Yeah. The rest of that story is the classic answer, ChatGPT. So we chucked it in. We got Flesh Eater's Courts, Stormcast, and Skaven, and chucked it in the old ChatGPT machine. Feast Brigade. We went to our first little RTT about it, and then from there, it was like, okay, if we go to 2 of these, it's gonna stick. So we tried. Well, by that, I tried to get away from it, just from like, I don't know, it's just like, let's come to not ChatGPT. Everyone loves it. So, and we got a nice little chef theme going on nowadays. I don't know how the combination of Skaven, FEC, and Stormcast gets to Feast Brigade, but apparently ChatGPT thinks that. So, I'm Hubble. I play a lot of ogres. Just big smash, just hitting my head against the wall until you're dead, or I'm dead, and then Stormcast, and those are kind of like my 2 primary armies, and I dabble in cities, with Cogfort just being exposed. I'm so excited. If I can just do 5 of those, I'm going to be a happy fella. But I'm the greenest one in the group. I definitely, I only started, basically when Feast Brigade started about 2 years ago. I bought the Dominion box, and the very overprinted one that I bought right when it was released, because it was the COVID times. And so I had nothing else better to do but start sniffing glue and I gotta tell you, plastic glue probably the worst smell ever. It's like, oh my goodness, that's what, if you're getting into it, you just gotta get used to plastic glue.
But when you're doing this for like 2 hours, you're like, why am I doing this? And like,
yeah, exactly. It's like, it's making the little guys, and really I just thought about Dungeons and Dragons. I did not know anything about Warhammer proper. And like, I read the rules and I was like, how do I even move? I was truly confused on how to move. And it was just like, these rules make no sense. How do I just, and this is what always confused me the most at the beginning. I just wanted to hit someone. And so, this is why Ogres is the perfect army for me. I was just like, how do I hit someone? I skipped past all the magic and hero phase stuff, went to the combat phase, and read that first, because, that's the fun phase.
Brain.
So yeah, I definitely am the newest by far in the wargaming world, and I love it more because of the community. My main introduction to this was board games, right? And it's nice to play board games, but it's kind of hard to get that core group going.
Yeah, it is. It is.
With Warhammer, it's like, hey, I need a game, and you got someone else just itching to get a game in. So it's now suddenly especially when you build our really strong community that we have here in Arkansas, and also we've been, I think that we have a really great community with all of our neighbors in the Great Plains here. It's phenomenal, and so it's easy to get a game in, and this is, you just post it out there, and you'll be playing in no time. I had a lot of people help me along the way. Really appreciate it, and now we're here. With multiple GTs later.
Local legend.
Yeah, local legend with 411. Yippee.
Hubble's being very, very low key on this, I think. Dude, you're one of our better players.
For sure.
I think that everybody knows this. You know this.
Here's the thing, and then I get my butt whooped all the time. I just keep learning, right? Always be learning.
And here's the thing, our team, the people on our team, we are such good players. We have so many good players on our team, and we push each other to the limit every time, which is great.
Yeah. You want to know one of our great players and great additions is Mr. Randy here.
Nice.
Comes
Yes.
from 40K.
Yes.
Our boy.
I'm Randy. I've dabbled in Warhammer since 11. Remember going to the mall down in Texas, in the Houston area, and my dad taking me, and we saw the Games Workshop sign. We went in, it was like, oh, this is awesome. And he got me a box. It was Old Hammer at the time. And he got me a box of Empire. And started from there. Been on and off ever since. Actually, I got married in 17, so this would have been 15, 16. I actually worked at Games Workshop over there in Texas for a bit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Randy Lord.
So I had a full Overlord's army, KO army, because you get some perks if you work for GW. Yeah. So I had bought that. It was just it was an on-call manager role. So I was just stepped up whenever the manager needed some time off or something. So, but you still get those perks. So I had a full KO army. Got moved over here about 2 years after we got married, because my wife's from here. This area, so I moved over here. Kind of fell out of it because a new area. I'm in the middle of nowhere, kind of like Josh. So kind of got out of it, and then I was Googling one day and Games Workshop, and there was a store in Fayetteville, and then there was another store, T-shirt Explosion at the time. I was like, oh, so I stopped by. Some people were playing 40K, and I started going to T-shirt Explosion. I didn't have a 40K army. I had all AOS, and no one played AOS there. It was all 40K. So I got into 40K, Space Marines, of course, because they're cheap. You can get them from different places for cheap. Then they moved to the new shop, Games Explosion, and was still playing 40K. I mean, I like 40K. It's a lot. But I saw a bunch of people playing AOS there, Hubble being loud, Josh being loud over there. I was like, oh, those guys are having fun. There's people that actually play AOS. So sold the Space Marines. It was like, I'm getting back to AOS. there was a bunch of Magickin on the used shelf. Bought it, started playing. They had a slow grow league at the time, which is a great idea, by the way. Allowed the community to grow, more people to get into Age of Sigmar, having fun, growing that community. Hubble asked if I wanted to join the Feast Brigade. I said, sure, why not? Played my allotted games and got voted in, and it's just been kind of AOS ever since, playing Magickin. Before the new book, so I'm not a meta chaser. I had him before the new book was out.
Can attest, he was playing, and he beat me. He beat me with the old Stinky Boys.
Yeah, Plague Bear's making a 12-inch charge.
It was 11, you know.
Oh, 11.
Oh.
Yeah, but been having fun with AOS ever since. We're gonna go over it, but just did my first GT for it, and it's been a blast.
Well, that's the crew. That's the role in the Ozarks crew. We are definitely probably going to have some special guests in the near future. I imagine like if some other Feast Brigade members want to come on and talk about it. You mentioned Karajan Overlords. We gotta shout out Obed here, local AOS chapter.
He's a true local.
Yeah. So
yes.
Yeah, we have lots of dudes and lots of people that are going to want to be part of this, I imagine, and so I'm really glad to be part of this core four. We're on in the Ozarks, and we're all part of Feast Brigade, and we are lucky and fortunate enough to be able to deliver some content to you guys. And so the goal for this podcast would be to again create community awareness and just community growth about our AOS community here in Northwest Arkansas. And again, I didn't think it was much a few years ago too, because I heard about AOS and like to be honest with you, the first time I heard about AOS, like the first edition, was like, what, they took away rank and file Warhammer? How dare they? Like straight away from it. And I was just like, no, I'm like, I don't want to be part of this nonsense, because like my father used to compare Warhammer 40k and Warhammer just like fantasy battles from checkers to chess, right? And he always said that like Warhammer was chess as opposed to 40k being checkers. I don't think he was regarded as correct in that assumption or that generalization. But I didn't like when I first saw AOS, I was like, what, is skirmish now? What's going on? But like the newer editions that have come out in the recent years, I think have been spot on. They're hot, they're key, they're great, whatever slang term you want to use for them. And so I think the purpose of this podcast is like, we want to make sure like, hey guys, where we have this little Ozarkian crew, like Warhammer's really big around here, AOS is really big around here, we want to grow it, we want to talk about it, we want to analyze it, we want to grow our community, we want to let everybody know that like this game is strong, this game is positive, and this game is growing as we speak.
Yeah, I think that you're spot on. Where I always go to is, we don't get to do cool things, we don't get to have cool hobbies without communities, right? So at the core of everything that Feast Brigade was kind of founded on, and also just like a lot of my attitude when it comes to the hobby, is how do we build the community? What I will oftentimes say to people, and specifically like new guys around the shop, is like, I have a vested interest in you having a good time. I think a big part of that is why I'm excited about this podcast, to just to continue building community, and obviously it's great if people know like we have a killer community here in the Ozarks, but also like to be able to walk through of how did we get here and why did we take the steps that we took to get here, and see that kind of growth. Because there's some crazy ones that I think we made, which are good. I think they're incredible.
All right, we're here to talk about Hawgpit, and who better else to talk about Hawgpit that didn't even go? I went to one last year. I didn't go to it this year. But like we have 3 people on this show that were attendees, and they want to talk about it. They want to give their opinions. They want to give their rundowns. So I'm gonna give this conversation up to you guys and let you talk about your experiences and like what went on through the whole thing. And I'll maybe say something every now and then and try to keep up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gentry.
Yeah, I can start and do a little bit of the TO side, and then we can kind of talk to you guys about the player side of it. So I was not supposed to TO for this event. I was supposed to play in this event. But unfortunately, our beloved Obed, local legend who we've referenced once already, came down with the sickness, and so I got to step in and do some tableside TOing, which is the best kind of TOing. Like it's all the FaceTime and relationship, without having to do the technical stuff on the back end. So shout out to Chris, because he did all that. I just had to answer questions. So that was cool. I did get to work pretty closely with Obed on a lot of the run-up to it, which was really fun. I know that he selected these missions, I believe, randomly. I believe the lore is that these are decided via the dice, which was great. We love that. And it was very fun. Because my personal favorite mission in the entire GHB was a part of this tournament with Paths of the Fae. Which turns out, if you read the mission, it explains the mission. It's just a little pro tip for all of us here.
I'm gonna talk about Paths of the Fae as well. Phenomenal map, because it breaks the game up in not a way that, I suddenly lose and die. It makes you think. It is such a fun map. If you have not played Paths of the Fae, I strongly recommend.
I appreciate Paths of the Fae because as an army that runs away, it's so good. Like I can go flee on. I can go to an objective and be like, oh, by the way, I'm gone. See you later. You know, that's why I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, before you continue, Josh, I want to throw in the fun fact that Obed got sick while painting up his Nurgle army to attend the event.
Yes. He
smelled too much juices.
Yeah, he's been getting real deep in there. And unfortunately, Grandfather Nurgle got him. Yes, we had some. It was kind of a minimal, not minimal price support, but it was a lower level price support event, because we want this event to be easily accessible to everybody. And so part of the way, or some of the way that you do that, is just by not having this big of price support in terms of, big ticket items. We had some really sick stuff. Of course, we had a number of folks who 3D printed some things, including, I believe, Mr. Gentry for the event. Is that correct, sir?
I helped Obed laser print some stuff.
That's right, laser print.
Yes.
So
the big cooking boards that the faction leaders got.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we had some great price support. We had Hawgpit very deliberately is the cheapest event in the circuit, kind of in the entire area. Tickets were $40 to show up. $40, and that $40 also actually got you lunch on Saturday.
It was
really good.
Really good.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Barbecue.
Oof. Yeah, it was phenomenal.
Barbecue. Oh man, you know what barbecue
It was tasty
is.
barbecue. It was not dried out. It was so good.
So we had Obed had very deliberately put into place a style of like a sub or an alternate style of list building and price support for this event called Hoglander, which is based off of the Highlander variant of AOS, wherein you can only have one of each war scroll, so on and so forth, to I believe a maximum of not maximum, but like a minimum of 9. I think that's the number.
No, there was no minimum. It was no minimum. 2 reinforced is maximum.
Yeah, because we wanted the giant players to be able to play.
Sons to be able to get in. Yeah.
Sorry, I was talking about default Highlander.
That was default.
The minimum number. Get that. I'm gonna flip something at you. So we did Hoglander. Hoglander said you need 4 unique war scrolls for our Sons of Bandit players, like we just said, and 2 reinforced units, no duplicate war scrolls, so on and so forth. And there are some people who are like, but why? Why reinvent the wheel? Why live dangerously? And Obed and I were of the same opinion, and the answer is because it's funny and I want to do silly things. It's the end of the season. Why shan't we have some time as a treat? You know, so it's fun. Many people we launched with 24. Of the 24 people, I think 15 of them had Hoglander lists.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Really big. It was great.
People want to list big sword.
Turns out, people like swords. I, for one, am shocked by this revelation. So it's cool. We also ran a specific and really interesting, if I do say so myself, contest called the Most Cursed Proxy Contest. Now, this came to Obed in a dream, is what he'll tell you. In the midst of the fevered thoughts of night, it dawned on him that we would put out a call for cursed proxies. As long as it's on the right size base, it can be whatever you need it to be, and I'll believe it, right? And there was no letting. Everybody understood the assignment. It was phenomenal. There were no bad cursed proxies. They were all great. The one that took it, and we'll try and find somewhere that we can host a picture for you at some point, friends, was a young man named Ethan Campbell, and he had made a bloodthirster out of Legos with an actual bloodthirster axe and head that he painted. That was so good.
It was good.
That's sick.
Very good.
Oh my goodness, the amount of time to build that. It looks so good and fun.
It's crazy. And it is my sincere hope that he keeps it on that base and he runs it every time that he can.
He could.
Yeah.
It looks like a bloodthirster made out of Legos.
And if you take a moment there, I don't know if you saw them. There were tiny Lego skulls on the base. He won. And so we also had some really fun ones. We had a gentleman who was running Starbrand as a Precious Moments doll, like a little angel in prayer. So that was fun and slightly sacrilegious. Another local ran a Slan as, I believe, a big boy art boss without his chair. So it's just this chunky little toad sitting on a base, which is great. There were a lot of really, really good cursed proxies. And to that point, too, one of the other reasons that we really liked the cursed proxy idea is, again, it's about accessibility, right? Accessibility breeds community. Community breeds longevity in game spaces. And so there are a number of people who might look at an army and go like, I got about 1,500 points, I got 1,600 points, but I really need something that pushes me over the edge. This gave them an opportunity to find something and be like, cool, I don't know if I'll run this exact list again, but I want to have this on the field. It's fun, right? It's the gentleman running Starbrand. It's Ethan now technically owning 2 Bloodthirsters, so big ups to my boy. Shout out to him. But it's about accessibility, and so its style, its aesthetic, it was very fun. The winner, Ethan, got a little Hatsume Miku on a 60 millimeter. 60 millimeter.
60 mil.
I had to go to the pharmacy today. I'm off my meds, which is really not great. I'm tired.
Your milliliters and milligrams are off the charts.
It turns out that they were sending my prescription to the wrong doctor, and he lives in another state.
Oh no.
Bro. That's why. Anyways. That's a different podcast. Anyways. 60 millimeter base. So it's a little Hatsume Miku, which is quite cute. So it's fun. We also had kind of a stock standard level of painting requirements. They weren't too crazy. We did technically have a painting competition, which Mr. Jonathan Schoen, who's a lovely gentleman in the Feast Brigade, won.
Did he? Oh, I didn't know that. Yay!
Yes.
Did a phenomenal job.
We'll see if we can get him. I don't know.
He just, he's phenomenal.
He is. Just a delightful human being.
He will be a future podcast guest. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
With his British accent, ready to roll.
Yes.
You know, a true podcast is you have a British dude, and I can speak from experience because my baseball podcast has had British people on it. So there you go.
There you go. Well, Sean has a fun story too about how he sold all of his Warhammer stuff, moved to the United States, and then had to buy all of his Warhammer stuff back. So it's a tough look for our boy, but he's back. He's never been more back, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's, I mean, our painting requirements, like I said, pretty stock standard. Obed and I have talked a little bit about what that might look like for next year, because again, accessibility, right? And really, if you think about it, battle ready isn't terribly difficult for a lot of folks. Just having 3 paints on the model itself and some level of basing. In my world, I might lean toward taking away the basing requirement. That's just me. But anyways, we'll deal with that next Hawgpit. That's a next Hawgpit question.
I actually appreciate you bringing up the whole basing issue because, like, I agree. It's like if you get the paints on there, it's cool. Like basing is, it's just more mandatory work.
Yes. Well, and it's depending on what you're doing, right? Like it can be quite complex. So like we all know a very dear gentleman who's a prolific local painter, and Nick, this is his name. Nick is an incredible painter, and he will spend like 4 or 5 hours on his bases, which I'm just like, my brother.
No.
Could not be me. I put PVA glue and put it in sand and salt.
Right?
That's my base.
Yeah.
Oh, the magickin that I'm working on, green stuff, roller, get the crystal down, then you gotta do the little rock, and then you got a little lake, little pond scum in there. Oh, so many steps along those magicins. Starting to play them because they're my artsy one.
Sterling Mud, and then Nurgle Rot from GW.
Oh, he was ready. He was like, I got it.
No.
I like how you had the Nurgle Rot like on your table with you.
I never leave home without it.
To just reinforce Curse Proxy, y'all. This is a phenomenal way to just bring in the new players. Hawgpit's a great intro. If you are not knowing if you want to do a GT or not, you can make it to Hawgpit. It's fun. It's a good time. And it's just made to be, we're going to make it, we want you there. First objective, get you in there and play at a table 5 games of Warhammer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Randy, do you want to start us off and like give us your experiences on 1 through 3?
Yeah.
Maybe how about you talk about your 1 through 3, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, round 1 was against Skaven, bringing Magickin to the tournament. It went really well. I'll say that. It was, I think, it was called by round 2, into round 2. It went really well.
I recall that, yep.
Yeah. I had Josh come over. I was like, okay, so how do I score this? But yeah, I guess wasn't ready for the Maggotkins and their mortal wounds and striking last and all.
Can I ask you? Yeah, so you're saying this like when you said he wasn't prepared for it, like as a Maggotkin player, like how did you approach that? Like what was your game plan going into round 1 against that player?
Game plan. I saw he was massing up in the middle. He had what's it, gutter runners?
Rat
ninjas. All
and Giselles.
The list was all rat ninjas and Giselles in the back. Two reinforced units of them. They were up in the middle, protected by some rat ninjas, and he had 2 rat ninjas off the side. Plague Progenitor, Taliban's rule is really good against Skaven. They don't got a lot of words. So every time you roll at the end of the turn or spread it, you're killing 2, average 2 per roll. His units are flying off the board. I got him in the middle with some rot swords, and they just held out against ninjas and one of the big vermin lords. I forget which one.
Screech.
Okay, yeah. And he thought I think he thought he was gonna be able to clear up some rot swords, but rot swords. 3 up save, 5 up ward. I'm on gonna all out defense him. Yeah, it takes a bit to lift him. I think a play of the game, 2 plays of the game here, I'll go over, is me accidentally screening out his knot holes in my backfield accidentally. Not a pro move. Totally did it by accident.
Well done.
Yeah, totally did it by accident. He couldn't fit a knot hole behind me to pick off some people. And then he had the worst dice I had ever seen. He shot 2 units of Giselle's at Pestigors outside of tree range, so there's 6 up ward, 5 up save, 6 up ward. He killed about 5 of them with 2. This is the worst rolling I have ever seen. I was like, I'm so sorry, man. It was bad. But they survived, and Pestigors got to charge 2 bricks of Giselle's, and that was it.
Jeez.
Game 2 was a life lesson. That first game, 80-20, which put me number 1. So that means I get to face top players round 2, and I found out quickly, there's some people that know how to play this game. I got paired into Zinch round 2. The new Zinch book. He explained all the rules to me. But in one ear, out the other. It's like, this is too much. I'm not gonna remember any of this.
And that's how they win.
But he killed my Glockkin round 1, battle round 1, and I was like, this is not going well. And Josh came over at one point. I was like, this is going bad. And then he came back another point. I was like, it evened out a little bit, but there was just too much damage output over there, which is kind of crazy.
So what killed the Glockkin?
The goats on disc, the melee ones.
Or enlightened, I think.
Yeah. That's with them striking last too. My Slaven Knights whiffed, as they usually do.
Slaven Knights are prone to do.
4s, yeah. Yep. And then I think the Glockkin killed 2 of them, which also big whiff. And then they just cleared him off the table, and he was gone. And then it was like downhill from there.
Did the guy have like a majorly Zangor list, or was okay?
Oh, Zangors. He had a brick of Zangors, and they can get up pretty ridiculous in attacks and rend. So they were clearing stuff. I think they can get up to 4 attacks. I don't know. It's all a blur now because he was just rolling dice. I was like, okay.
Yeah. Attacks
on here.
Yes. Hitting on 3s, wounding on 2s. I believe they can get to rend 2.
Yes.
They can.
They can get to effective rend 3.
Yeah, effective rend 3. Yeah.
Okay, so like disc Zangors, like foot Zangors, like what do you remember? Was it the Lord of Change or was it Kairos Fate Weaver as the main demon?
Fate Weaver.
Fate Weaver. Okay.
Named one. Yes, it was Fate Weaver. It was also. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, it was also the mission where we're all on one side of the board.
Noxious Nexus.
Yeah,
Noxious Nexus.
Noxious Nexus. So like deploying is kind of hard with all the. So I was running brick of Rot Swords, a brick of Pestigors, Glockkin, Slaven Knights, 2 Nurglings, and some the ones that shoot. I can't remember them right now. With the blue ones, Rotmire Creed, and there and some Lord of Plagues. All the characters, but big bases, Glockkin, and all that. It's hard to fit. And then you got to fit a tree too, so it's a lot and it's hard to move around. But he did a great job. He ended up number 2 in the tournament too, so I can say I lost to number 2.
He used the little art, the tower things to use his spells. Okay.
I mean, honestly, he didn't have to, because we're right there next to each other.
But he used the illusion stuff as well. I'm sorry, I was reading Zinch's book today. That's why I'm asking.
He used the book. He used the other little. There's another manifestation that gives debuffs.
Sigil.
Yeah. That was also, debuffing me as well and buffing him. It's a lot of buff.
Yeah.
It's a buff heavy army, buff and debuff heavy army, and I wasn't prepared for it at all. But it was a good game. It's what you expect going against a really good player that knows his rules, and But it helped me with my in my 5th game. I played against Zeech again. I was like, okay, I kind of know what's going on now. But let's go to the 3rd game. I think that one was 70-31. He got me. 3rd game, I played against Richard, who new member of Feast Brigade, Richard Shear.
Shout out to him, man.
Yeah, he's playing LRL. So me and him have played multiple games against each other with our lists. So when we got to the table, I was like, okay, I know what your army does. You know what my army does. Let's just roll dice. Let's go. It went pretty well. He kind of stayed in his corner because LRL wants to buff all around him. He has tech lists and all that. So he kind of had like a castle in his corner, which allowed me to get all the objectives everywhere. So I was scoring max primary every turn. And that's ultimately what won me the game. But he wanted to wait till he was all buffed up, ready to move out. And I just was like, okay, let me just slowly move to you. Let me move my 4 inches, my runs, 2s and 3s. let me slowly get to you. There was a point in the game where he finally said, it's like, okay, I'm gonna come at you, because I was just kind of waiting, because I'm gonna trickle disease on you and just keep chipping. I don't have to commit if I don't want to. Just keep chipping. And then he was ready. I had left some pestigores out. He charged them with everything. I think Techless was the only one that didn't fight them that turn. But pestigores, I believe they got killed. But at that point, I had Nurglings in there too. His Plague Progenitor was diseased. Unfortunately for him, his Plague Progenitor was in combat range with everybody besides Techless. And I think another hero. So I was like, okay, I'm going to spread from that dude and D3. Oh, it was brutal. I was like, okay, those are my Plague Progenitor rules. Now let me roll my actual. And I was getting like consistent 3s on his heroes too. I was so bad. So that was definitely the play of the game. It was like it all went down the hill for him from there on, because you can only rally 1 unit in my hero phase and his hero phase, and I'm gonna put it back on that unit at the end of the turn. So everybody was diseased. I actually got to use the rule where if everyone is diseased, 1 mortal wound to everybody. Like if there's no one left to disease, you can just hand out 1 mortal wound to everybody, and that's on top of your actual disease rolls. So did that, and I believe Techless was the only thing alive left at the end of that game. But won that, and we shook hands, and great game, really close game, 56-51.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so
okay.
It was just primary that got me through. I doubled him at one point, so he took a treasure, so I couldn't score that because I was like, okay, now's the time. I need to engage with Glotkin and the Knights and all that. But 56-51 primary won me that game.
It's still a very close game.
Yeah, it was a very close game, but all the credit to Richard too, because this is his first GT as well. He just got into Age of Sigmar like a month ago, 2 months ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, me and Richard play 40k against each other a lot. He beats my butt every time. So he saw me playing Age of Sigmar. He goes, "I got some models. Do you want to play sometime?" I was like, "Sure, let's go." And then I convinced them to come to the GT. Yeah,
Cool.
but yeah, it was fun. A fun game, close game, and put me to 2-1 for the day. So
All right, cool. Hubble, how'd your 1, 2, 3 go?
Well, my first game was against Mr. Richard as well. I'm playing ogres. I got 2 reinforced iron guts and a reinforced gluttons and 2 butchers. The list name is Run Adam, so that's what we did. But being 2-dropping, it's a little easier to get this moving and grooving. But my plan in this one was to alpha pin. I wasn't planning on killing everything in his list. So turn 1, I was in his territory. I made him go first, trying to shoot for the double, because why not? But a key piece here is I love movement shenanigans. So it is, and that really kind of tilted it. This was also a very close game, 65-56. So I won, but it was a close game. For the first GT for Richard here, only playing, less than 3 months for certain.
yeah, for sure.
He kept me on my toes, and I was like, I need to pin him down in his territory, which is what happened. So I just scored more primary at the end of the day. That was the only thing. So one of the little techie bits that scored me a few more points in round 1 was Iron Guts, fight twice. I charged a manifestation, and then I charged the Butcher into that manifestation. I hit the manifestation with the Butcher and did the impacts into it. It dies. And then I fight twice with the Iron Guts. And then 5 Iron Guts proceeds to kill a reinforced brick of Wardens on the first go around. Which everyone loves a good Iron Gut bashing. And then I do the second move because they charge. I get to do the second move and tag the objective. So that objective really helped me out going forward. It's just, I kind of expect every single time that he gets to hit me, 4 bodies die. That's just it. Like, I'm just saying, alright, I'm expecting to pick up 4 dudes. So, because it is just, we have no save at all. And that was pretty accurate going into the fights later on. And so I got, the ability off, I charge, I get that extra point, turn 1, okay, that really helps me out with scoring from here on out. And then I get the second group of Iron Guts, but I made a major mistake with playing both my Butchers in the middle in turn 2, and he killed them. They're so easy to kill. So he got them. I was already in combat, so they did their job. They got the Iron Guts, the Gluttons into his territory. I did get to do a retreat, which saved me a lot of points from dying without purpose, because I retreated about 4 Gluttons out of a massive combat. I think it was a reinforced unit of Blade Lords and a Lyrior.
Yes.
I just retreated him, and he was like, "What?" Right? Because no one expects you to retreat. So that's my lesson to everyone. Always be retreating, especially in the combat.
ABR. Always be retreating.
So you both played Teclis, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
So, like, what
He was
was
alive at the end of the game.
Well, so that's 2 games. So, like, is Teclis that fearsome right now? And is that the best Lumineth build fighting against? Do you think?
You gotta kill everything to get to Teclis.
Yeah,
that's my take.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally a castle. You got to kill everything he has in front to get the Teclis in the back, and he's just casting spells and spells and spells and spells. Auto casting spells on a 12 too. So I think there is a build right now with the hammer guys that is really good. Was somebody playing? Was Alex playing hammers?
I believe so.
I believe Alex was doing the stone.
Yeah.
Guard.
Yeah.
Was he? Interesting.
One of them had a reinforced stone guard. We had 3 LRLs there. It was not Richard, and it was not LaRon, because I played them both.
LaRon
so I think it was Alex.
Wow.
Yeah. And just as the PSA, don't let Iron Guts, even one Iron Gut, get into
Never.
because 2 Iron Guts. I did the fight twice. I didn't need it. Killed Light, Lyrior, and one Blade Lord. He would just put 1 attack into him, and those guys when they start hitting things.
Ogres are mean, dude.
Oh, they're so mean. They kill everything. It's so much fun.
They hand out the
And this is like, Iron Guts. People are like, well, you get 4 attacks with Gluttons versus the Iron Guts. That Rend 2, 3 damage versus Rend 1, 2 damage is a massive change to the damage that actually gets through. And then Fight Twice, right? Fight Twice is, if you activate Fight Twice early on, it's a great thing to be able to just be like, well, I delete half your army, potentially more like probably closer to like 40%, which 40% of your army being off the board, if you get into that right scenario, is massive. And you can also give out a spell for +1 to their attacks characteristic. So Blood Feast it up, and it's a good time. So Richard, I had a great time playing him, loved playing him. I pinned him. He killed most of my stuff. I think it maybe had a Butcher and 1 Glutton left at the end of the game. He had Techless and some Blade Lords is what I remember. So I killed a lot of his stuff, but I was like, I had nothing left in the tank. So I just kind of kept him in his territory for 3 turns, scored out, and then from there, it was just trying to maximize my points each turn. So, there's the first one with Grasp of Thorns, and then Noxious Nexus, the worst thing. I had a mirror match. JJ, phenomenal player. Had a great time playing him. I learned a lot. We both played super cagey. And we asked, 4 rules to Josh because we were like, it's like our brains turned off. Because we were like, I'm playing a mirror match on Noxious Nexus, which is supposed to be the Ogre map. So everyone else got the blessing. Everyone else got the blessing of not having to fight us. But unfortunately, we had to fight each other. And so we both played super cagey in round 1, not leaving our zone because you can't score on turn 1. And then he said, time to get the party started. And threw a Frostlord on Stonehorn into my reinforced set of Gluttons. He left exactly 1 wound on the Gluttons. I countercharged him with the Maulpath Menace. Iron Guts got in there. So I killed his Frostlord, but he lifted what is a 4 times 12. He lifted 47 wounds with the Frostlord on Stonehorn. A 5-up save, right? 5-up save, but he lifted 47 wounds, which is
impressive.
It's a homing missile, right? He didn't have the Husker, so he didn't have a crit 6s, exploding 6s on it. He just did this baseline, and it was ruthless. So he lifted a lot. My Nobblers and my cannon was still alive, and then going into turn 3, he started off the round and he blasted my cannon off with his cannon because our cannons were so far apart. He kept them like we were just barely out of each other's range. Then he got me, shot my cannon off the board. That kind of sealed the deal. I kept trying, but cover on terrain is brutal. -1 to hit in a destruction army. So everyone that wants to beat destruction, just keep cover up. -1 to hit. It's pretty brutal when you're hitting on 4s normally. And so I had a guy alive at the end of turn 3, but it didn't technically matter in any meaningful way. But he just outdid me. I'm kind of leaning towards the Lead Belchers. He had a unit of Lead Belchers instead of Noblars because they just do a little bit more damage, and it's still 16 wounds on a 5-up save compared to 20 wounds on a 6-up save.
Yeah.
And they, Noblars, they're there. They're a physically larger screen on the board, but compared to the Lead Belchers, I kind of see why he gets there. So yeah, it was a good time. I love playing JJ. I hope I get to play him again. Just not Ogre v Ogre, just any other army. And especially not on noxious
You're at
matches.
Ashton Gartholo's list against him.
Oh gosh,
That's gonna
the Rhode Island list.
Oh, yeah.
last game of the day. Cynical Shifts versus our man Pat. Pat, phenomenal. He's playing a Stormcast, and
That's such a great dude.
oh my gosh, love Pat. Pat, if you're listening to this, we love you so much. You're phenomenal. I am shocked with what an unreinforced set of Grand Hammers did. I'm truly shocked. Now, Gardas obviously helped out with the +1 to attacks. He bullied me with that unreinforced set of Grand Hammers, and he made the 10-inch charge because I got the redeploy off, right? And he got the 10-inch charge, which you got to semi-account for whenever you're playing Stormcast. He lifted up a whole unit there of Iron Guts, basically. I had 1 Iron Gut and 3 wounds in the pot. So and they didn't kill the Grand Hammers because the 3-up save. Right? And I also whiffed a whole bunch of attacks, which isn't fun. 4-up to attack, always tough. But he kept his reclusions back, and I had the right side of the board that had a set of Iron Guts that literally just ran him back and forth between the objectives. So this is just the 1/3 of the board all the way over there, running back and forth with the Butcher because he teleported his dang Questor Soul Swarm into the back corner, and he's like, I'm going to touch that point and score points. And I was like, Stormcast teleporting shenanigans. So I ran back there, killed all of those guys, and then I run back because he turns off the objective, and then I'm running all over on that right side of the board. And it was basically the fact that I was able to control more than him because that right side playing primary. I only got I thought that was the case. I only got 1 secondary off of that whole game. It was 51 to 45.
Wow.
He played super cagey, and I tried to run up to him, but he just did a good job of keeping teleporting and moving around, especially with the 6 objectives on the board. It was really tough to get, and he had the unreinforced Grand Hammers and a reinforced set of regular Annihilators, which is not very popular right now but it's a 2-up save.
It's cheap for
cheap
yeah.
and a 2-up save, and you just plant those suckers wherever you want. Iron Guts fight twice into them, and I only killed 3 on each activation.
Yeah,
it was annoying.
yeah.
And that's just what they're supposed to do, right? The Mortals is your worst enemy with any Stormcast list, which I just don't have, right? But if you're playing into a Mortals list with Stormcast, it just doesn't go as well as playing a lot of Stormcast. It's like, Magickin, and you just disease me, and every turn you're doing 3 points of damage. I only have 90 points of wounds total. He's lifting up my army in the end phase. So Randy's gonna kick my butt a few times when I'm playing Stormcast. But it was a great day. Loved playing Hawgpit, and all the opponents I played. Came out 2-1 at the end of the day, but my wins were scratching by, not necessarily stomping anyone out.
Cool. So you guys are both 2-1 at this point, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So let's go to day 2, right? People they go out to dinner, hang out in the evening, imbibe if they want to, do whatever they want. It's cool, but you got to show up Sunday morning. What time do you guys have to show up on Sunday?
9:30 game start.
No, 9 o'clock game start.
9 o'clock.
It's earlier.
Yeah. Doors open at 9, right?
Doors open at 9.
Yeah.
9?
on
I'm
Sunday.
pretty certain that the game started earlier.
Well, it definitely started before.
Some shows do.
Yeah.
You got that Sunday 9 a.m. start, and Pass of the Fae is staring you in the face.
I slept
So, let's talk about round 4. Who do you guys match up against round 4? Who wants to start?
I'll go ahead and start.
I'll tell you about Joe.
Okay.
Just saying, I got sons. I love Joe. That's who I paired into.
Well, first match, round 4, I got paired against Bob. He's the nicest dude ever. He was awesome. Yeah.
We love Bob.
Yeah, I apologize to him because I got woken up by the kids at like 4 a.m. and for some reason I couldn't fall back asleep. So I was dead tired going in. I was forgetting stuff. I was forgetting disease rolls and all this other stuff, and rolling for like strike last for my knights and 2. He's like, no worries, man. Nicest dude ever. I felt so bad. I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm just brain dead here. But I passed the Fae. I chose to go second. I actually out-deployed him. Chose to go second because me and Hubble talked about this over dinner. And he scores his 15. Actually, I can pull up the game right here. I forgot I have him BCP. He scores his 10. And I was like, all right, I got it. I just need to score just 5 points, and I'm gonna teleport his hippo riders. There, he has what are they? He has guys on Skull Crushers. He has them modeled on like these 3D printed hippos, which look pretty cool. I'm gonna teleport him over here. I'm just gonna charge him with rat swords and take him out. Take one unit out of the game. Well, first round, I accidentally scored 10 points, so we tied. I was like, oh, whoops, I didn't know that. I accidentally scored 10 points. So there's no underdog going into round 2. So there goes my plans. I just have rot swords waiting by 6 inches, a little bit out of 6 inches from the objective, and I have a Pestigore brick in the middle because there's like a choke point in the middle in this map with terrain. He charges knights, chaos warriors, and one of the chaos heroes on this on a horseback.
The horse.
Because he has a ROR or AOR or 10 Pestigores live through all that, and he goes, oh, I thought I was gonna do a little bit better than that. I was like, okay, I got it. So it allows my other stuff to come in. Glotkin comes in. The terrain was not friendly to the Glotkin. He's big base, and there was like our forests weren't actually like flat; they were raised, and you can't really like fit on it. So I gotta not put him in the forest. It's not gonna do anything for him, but it just creates space for all my other units to walk around and stuff. We meet in the middle. It's Chaos Knights. I think can get up to an effective like 1 save, and then with all out defense 2. So I'm doing Ren 2 back down to Ren 1. He saved it on 3s on his knights, I believe. Or Glotkin. Glotkin actually rolls good. Hits most of his attacks. He saves every single one of these suckers. Glotkin does 0 damage. He got he gets some of the man, I can't remember his units names, but the ones that make you punch yourself into.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Wrathmongers.
Yeah, he sequences just right, so I don't hit those guys. He brings his Wrathmongers in, tells the Glotkin to do the 5 damage attack against himself. I hit myself 3 times, and I save one of them, so I do 10 damage to my own Glotkin, just punching myself in the face. Save 2 with the ward save, so do 8 damage. Yeah, that didn't go well. He has more Wrathmongers in a different unit that come in, kill everything. Rat Swords are still alive in the midst of that middle scrum though. Yeah, it was a good game. Ended up 70-49 him. I was able to get a couple, another secondary at the end of the game there with a long bomb charge from Slaven Knights that hit his terrain piece, and then I skirt around on the pylon and get one of his heroes that has a treasure in the back, and actually do damage with my Slaven Knights that time, and managed to scrape another 5 out there at the end. But super nice dude. I would play him multiple times, again and again, because he's the nicest dude ever. But yeah, it was a good game. Game 5. We're gonna go into game 5.
Let's do Hubble's game 4.
Okay,
And then we'll
Hubble's
So I played Joe, and he's playing his sons. So to start off the game, Joe is like, "I'm not supposed to run at ya," and I was like, "That's unfortunate, because I really want that." And he's literally said that he's like, "I'm not," and he, the verbal processing that I do, he's doing. He's like, "I'm not gonna charge you turn 1," and I was like, "Come on, just do it, hit the Noblars in the front rank, and then I'll respond with a reinforced Gluttons, reinforced Iron Guts, reinforced Iron Guts. Totally fine. No problem at all." But no, he played it super tight turn 1. He had the ROR, the Gobapalooza and Rabble Rouser in it, which is I'll tell y'all, if you are in destruction and just need a few more bodies on the board, it doesn't have to be good bodies, just bodies to tag objectives. It's great. And especially for the Suns list, if you're able to just get, so you have Gobapalooza, the Rabble Rouser, Squig Herd, the Squig Hoppers. I believe it's Hoppers as well. Yeah, so you get 4 units out of that ROR. And they move pretty fast, and the Rabble Rouser allows you to give running charge to whatever you want. Right? You just have to end near it. There's like some technicals to it. Rabble Rouser will do some damage to itself. It's whatever. It's a great ROR for Suns. So Joe didn't run at me turn 1 like I want him to, and this is Path to the Fae. Which definitely messed up my game plan in the midst here. And so he puts the Squig Herd in the middle, and I just go ahead and start killing at it, but it's whatever. I put 20 Noblars on it because I can, and so I outscore him, and I shot off a whole bunch, but it's still alive. And he brought back quite a few at the end of the turn, or start of the turn, I can't remember which one. And then, turn 1, he has all 3 Gargants pretty far back, except for one gets sucked into the vacuum. And I win the prior roll, but I was like, I'm not in position to pick him up. And so I took the underdog, chose the middle, which sucked up a Mega, and his Squig Herd, and my Noblars. I take the center because he's trying to do Restless and Wrathful, and so he's trying to score that center objective pretty hard. But Broad and the War Stomper are pretty close, and so his Gate Smasher is just stuck in the bottom right corner, which is great, which is why Pass of the Fae is so much fun. Unfortunately, that comes to bite me later on. And so he's over it, stuck in there. He goes ahead and pushes up. He kills all those Noblars. And my Iron Guts are in the back line. My 2 sets of Iron Guts are in the back line. I go ahead and kill that Gate Smasher without hesitation. Being able to do that damage was like inconsequential amount of effort by a set of Iron Guts. It was so easy when I was like, well, anyways, I think I did a total of like 48. I don't know. I had the +1 attacks on them, and I did the all-out. I had the +1 to hit, on it as well. That's what it was from the rack that gives +1 to hit against monsters and heroes. And so that was nice getting that for free. So yeah, I pick up that Gate Smasher, and he has his Broad and his other guy in the back, and I unfortunately score more points than him. And at this point now he is underdog because he had the treasure token on that Gate Smasher, and so that sent me 1 point ahead of him. 1 point ahead of him. So he's underdog into turn 3. My Gluttons, my reinforced unit of Gluttons, he vacuums them and sticks them in the back left corner from me, and all the combat's in the bottom right corner. So everything that's fun is happening in the bottom right corner right now on the board, and my reinforced Gluttons get jettisoned to the other side of the board. The exact opposite side. The +2 move to run and all that, Maul Path Menace, redeploy, all that stuff, trying to get them back over into the game was exhausting. And so I made that mistake because I killed a hero. I was doing Master and Intercept, and he had Treasure and Master, so that's how I got the 10 extra points. And 1 point over screwed me into turn 3, and King Broad whiffs all of his attacks into Maw Pit in turn 3, but his other guy's stuck in the back corner now, or can't move right now. So it's okay, whatever. And then I start moving my Gluttons back in, and we're just trading pieces one at a time. I get my other Iron Guts into King Broad. They lift him up in one go, and his War Stomp is just stuck now in movement because it was also in the vacuum. And that's kind of basically how the rest of the game went, where his War Stomp was stuck in a vacuum, couldn't move. I'm moving over from one side of the board back into relevancy, and eventually it's turn 5, and King Broad's dead. I still have a unit of Iron Guts and unit of Gluttons, and he takes the top of 5, and he was like, I can either try to do a win where my Rabble Rouser kills the Butcher, and I get the token, the Intercept and Recover outfit, or I tie the game. He chose to tie the game, and he said that out loud, and I was like, I was trying my absolute hardest to be able to like tilt this out, but no, we tied it dollar for dollar on battle objectives and with primary and secondary. So I drew in game 4 on Pass of the Fate. I had such a blast playing Joe, and seriously, consider that ROR. Wow. If you're playing Suns.
Oh, what a great game!
What a story.
Yeah. All right. So, Josh, from your perspective,
yeah,
we're entering round 5. What's that look like to you as a judge?
Well, so on day 2, I actually got to play Bias because we had a drop at the start of the day.
Oh.
So I'm playing round 4. I played John Cox, and I re-victimized him with Sushi. Right? He really doesn't like. Yeah, I am. He really doesn't like my turtle because every time we've played, that turtle has done terrible things to him. So round 5, I'm playing into Ethan Campbell. So he's our newest Blades of Corn player. And as a judge, I'm just like, man, I am super grateful that there have been literally no contentious rules questions. Nobody has had their fifis hurt at all this tournament, which has been great. Things have gone well. And so there was a part of me that was like, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Please, God, don't be a train. Like, please, like, we're almost done. And the other part of me is like, a little more, I don't know, Icarus, perhaps. Like, nothing could go wrong. We've survived Paths of the Fae. Nothing can go wrong. And thankfully, like round 5 was pretty uneventful. There wasn't really much. I had to like pause a few times to go talk with Chris about things on the back end of things, but like largely speaking, everybody landed the plane. Relatively on time. If there's one thing that war gamers are not the best at, it is finishing their round on time. Which is why I always advocate for clocks. However, it went well. It was great. It was very easy, and everybody, like I said, was very chill. Played all their stuff. It came down for first place in the tournament between like two truly undefeated guys. They were both 4-0. There was a chance that wasn't going to be the case. And then Tyler Emerson won his fourth game. And I was like, okay. So it was great. Both good dudes. And then getting prizes ready was and like placements and stuff ready was the like little bit of stress I had, because I am a firm believer that like it is a great art to end well. Spend any amount of time with me in non-Warhammer contexts, you'll hear the other way that phrase goes, which is it's great art to die well, which is actually a quote from a 16th century English philosopher, but that's neither here nor there. But like I really wanted it to land the plane well, and I think that it did. I think that it was a really successful event.
Who was the overall winner?
Tyler Emerson was our overall winner.
What army did he play?
He played Slaves to Darkness.
He won Highlander.
With the Highlander.
He did it. Slaves to Darkness, Highlander, Liss.
Yes, it was phenomenally well done.
I believe Abraxia was the leader of that.
Yes, she was.
Army. So, if we want to talk about Slaves to Darkness, holy cow,
I need to see this list.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now. I'm actually trying to find my man Tyler's list.
Dude, because people have been ripping on Slaves to Darkness, man.
A lot of doom and gloom.
Yeah. Slaves to Darkness, I have said for a long time, let the record show. Said for a long time, Slaves to Darkness is still a very incredibly powerful and good army. They took the things that made it cruise control away from them, and that's good. Like being able to have reinforced, and someone somewhere is mad that I said that. Let the record show, and I'm okay with that. But when they take away the ability for you to have like, I'm gonna have reinforced Chosen and reinforced Varangard and fights twice everywhere and and suddenly you're priced out at it. Like, yes, there are some people who take their ball and go home, and that's a very, I think that's understandable. A lot of people want the army to run well out of the box, which is fair. But also, like, there are ways to get, a 180-point unit of Dark Oath Marauders to smoke a Chaos Chosen in one activation. I've done it. I've done the math. I've seen it happen. Anyways, the list is as follows. It's a 2,000-point list. It's a 3-drop. Champions of Chaos, which means every non-monster Slaves to Darkness hero gets 2+ attacks, which is great. Lore of the Damned, which is their default lore. Master of the Pass and Intercept, because the dude wants the smoke. He wants the fight. That's all he wants to do. Abraxia, the Scourge version, because she is so good, why would you not take her? She's just a super good unit. 5 Brick of Chaos Chosen, a Chaos Lord on Karkadrak, and Dark Oath Savagers. So Chosen obviously have Crit Mortals. Dark Oath Savagers also have Crit Mortals. Fun fact. The Chaos Lord on Karkadrak has Death Wander, so he's going to fight twice, because as much as we want to get away from that wretched mechanic, we can't. So he's going to do it. And then he also gives +1 to charge for infantry whenever he makes a charge. I think within 18. It's something crazy.
Did I hear that correctly earlier in your statement? +2 to attacks of non-monster unit?
Non-monster heroes.
Non-monster heroes.
Non-monster heroes.
Plus 2? That's their battle formation?
Yeah. Hold on, let me double check.
That is so good. That is so good.
Add 2 to the attached characteristic of
Is it Soggy?
It's Soggy.
Is it the Strategic I ran?
It is. Champions of Chaos, yep.
Oh my gosh. I can't imagine giving Chaos Warriors, Chaos Chosen, Varangar.
Heroes. Not just
just to the heroes.
Just to heroes.
Oh, okay. This is where the biggest challenge
reading comprehension
is.
Reading battle formation explains the battle formation.
Yeah, but okay, non-monster heroes. I was hearing non-monster, non-hero.
No, that's fair. This is fair.
Yeah, well, why is not everyone playing this?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh my goodness, plugged into it.
Like, oh my god, it's incredible.
Yeah, that was broken pretty fast.
That's +3 attacks. So Chaos Sorcerer Lord, Head of the Unworthy, which basically means he's going to choose a hero to get any level of Dark Apotheosis points to, like, from fighting, from stealing objectives, yada yada yada. As soon as you smoke that hero, that Chaos Sorcerer Lord becomes a Demon Prince, who, fun fact, benefits from the +2 to attacks because he's not a monster in AOS. Has a 6 attack space, so up to 8 attacks, 3s, rend 1, 3 damage, crit mortals.
Goodness.
And then has a fight first on 4-up.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, he's great.
And you know what? I'm so happy with the Soggy rules. Just for the change up, right?
Yes.
I hope that as we go into this next season that they keep that trick up.
Yes.
In general, it doesn't have to necessarily be battle formations, but new war scrolls, new whatever.
Yeah. So he set that. He does have a 20 block of Chaos Warriors because, again, why would you not? That's 40 health on a 3-up save. Like, that's 30 extra attacks standing on an objective. He's going to corn mark them almost like assuredly. They got the Dread Banner too, which turns off like commands when you're in combat, which is like stomps. It's really good. And then finally, we're rounding out this wonderful little trip with an Orgroid Myrmidon, who is the hero version of Orgroid Therodons. So you'll let them chain fight, and he'll give them a +1. So Therodons and Myrmidons, fun fact, are from I think they're called Garoa species, which used to be part.
Right.
It used to be part of the Destruction Pantheon, and then Gorka Morka and the Orcs kicked their sandcastle down one too many times, and they got mad about it, and decided we're gonna go to Chaos. Casual, most understandable crash out, right? So Therodons hit hard. There was a while where there was a stats breakdown about like Therodon output versus Chaos Chosen output, and how like Therodons actually were points wise the better unit to bring.
For DPS.
They were more efficient and they dealt for their points. They dealt more damage.
That's for our man Cox out there.
Yeah,
he's doing those math calculations.
Yeah.
And then this is the secret sauce in this list. Let me introduce you to the Mindstealer Sphereames, okay? It's a Warcry monster. It comes from Warcry, I believe. And it's one of the best things that came from that game, which I'm told is very good. There's a very dedicated fan base of 3 people.
I feel like I also, that's a Warhammer Underworlds type of mentality as well.
No, this is true. This is like here's the thing. The Warcry warbands and the Underworld warbands are pound for pound the best designed miniatures in this entire game. And I'm convinced it's because they say, hey, these are not going to be every unit in an army, so like go ham. The fact that Fire Slayers, I'm ranting now. I apologize. The fact that Fire Slayers, Warcry warbands has a Kindle draw, it's a magma puppy. Sold. I'll buy it right now. You give me a Tzeentch or a Slaanesh Warcry that has like cats, I'm done. I'm cooked, chat. Anyways, so the Mind Stealer Sphere Ranks, right? It's a monster, moves 10 inches, 10 health, 5 control on this thing. Okay? 5 health, or 5 aboard. Or 5 of safe, not 5 aboard. I know what I'm talking about. I know this game. The melee profile, ignore it. We're not here for that. That's for goofy goobers, okay? We're here for the once per turn combat ability. Pick an enemy unit within 6 inches, not even within combat, within 6 inches of this unit to be the target. Roll dice. If it exceeds the control characteristic, that target has strike last. Do you know how many chuckleheads are control 1 in this game, brother?
All Stormcast.
Like, everything is control 1. If you got 2 feet on the ground, control 1. Unless you're an ogre, then you're control 2, but get out of here.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, heroes, control 2, JK.
So he was basically stealing objectives because of that ability, right?
So he's giving them strike last. He's bullying them off of objectives with the chaos, either the Chaos Warriors or the Myrmidon, the Theridons. I cannot say this enough. Tyler Emerson is a slept-on, player, but he's also just a phenomenal human being. Like, I love Tyler. Let the record show. I'm Tyler Stan. Because every time we see each other, we talk about the one game that we played against each other at an RTT where a priority roll went his way, and it saved him from getting tabled by me. And that's like one of the first. Anytime we see each other, like that's one of the first things. Hey, how's it going? And boom, do you remember? And it's always like, yes, I remember this. Thank you, Tyler.
Well, congratulations to Tyler.
He's a stud. He's a good dude.
Right. So, Randy, what was your game 5 like?
Mr. Cox was my game 5. Funny story. There's lunch break in between game 4 and 5. We go to Slim's, and Cox is sitting about 2 seats down from me. I turn to him and I say, "Hey, Cox, how do I beat you?" Because the parents already know. We already know. He goes, "Just sit on objectives and that's it." It's like, what are you gonna do about it? You're a 3 up, 5 up. What am I gonna do about it? So we go into the game. I sit on objectives and ask him what he's gonna do. What are you gonna do about it? And the fact was nothing. He's not gonna do anything about it. Had Pestigore as the middle objective the whole game. Rotsword the one objective the whole game. Had Glotkin on a different objective, and I had screened out my backfield, so I come for 40k. You gotta screen out that 9-inch deep strike. So I was prepared for this. This was my moment. I had my whole backfield screened out with heroes, Nurglings, manifestations, Harbinger of Decay, more manifestations. It was all screened out. He could not get in there till bottom of 3, I think, or something like that. He kind of keep teleporting in front of me. I killed about Spawn about 8 times. Every time he was get that out of here. But yeah, I just saw our objectives. There's 2 funny moments. He finally managed to get his pink horrors in my backfield and a wizard. I had a Harbinger Decay on my far back right objective. This is a 5 objective map. So all my bully stuff was towards his side because he saw where I deployed my Glotkin and said no. He deployed everything into the opposite corner. he didn't want smoke. But I was never gonna score secondaries against this man. He hid all the treasures away. They were off the board, or not off the board. They were in the corner where I couldn't reach them. And every time I got close, they were gone. So I was like, I just need to score primary. Score primary. I'm not going to get any secondaries except the first one, which is control objective that your opponent controlled. Got that one. That was the only secondary I scored the whole game, I believe. But yeah, sit objectives. Funny, he finally got pink horrors and one of the wizards in the back, and one of the towers, so he could cast through it. he did a mortal wounds spell like 4 times into my Harbinger of Decay, did 5 damage to it, and it was my turn to rally in his turn. So I roll my dice, heal all 5 back. Yeah. 5 out of 6 dice. Healed everything back. So he was still there. He finally shot it with everything. He had the pink horrors, he had flamers, and I think an exalted flamer too.
Yep.
They killed it to the wound. And all he needed to do was to charge a manifestation that was on the objective to swing 8 points on me, 3 inches away, and he rolls double ones. With no CP, no CP, no funny zinch stuff.
8 points.
Yeah,
5
big ones. Yeah. And he cannot get on the objective. I'm deliriously tired at this point. So I see the double ones and I just die laughing.
Oh my god!
he kind of looks. I mean, we know each other. it's funny.
We all have those moments.
And he starts laughing too after the shock is worn off. What started the laughter was alright, I have 2 wounds left on my Harbinger of Decay. Alright, I heal all the 5 back that you shot at me, and that just started the laughter from there. And then he proceeds to roll double ones, and it killed me. I was like, I'm so sorry. But really close game. All my games were really close. 55-51 was the final score.
They're close, yeah.
Yeah, 4-point win. I scored 10 points every turn on primary, and I did 1 secondary, and that was enough to push it.
And that was that.
Yep, and that was it. I sat on objectives, and great guy, Cox is awesome. To be fair to him, he was literally playing the list that he named, "This is bad, don't do this."
Yeah, that is exactly true.
So,
He was going for the hog land.
Yeah. So, but I mean, he put up a good fight. Ended up the tournament 3-2, first GT, positive win rate. That was pretty cool. So, yeah, that was game.
Hey, well, you know, and when you go 3-2 in your first GT, like feel good about that.
Yeah.
Because when you're old and decrepit like me, and you decide to take Fire Slayers to a list, to a tournament, and you finish 1-4 and get beat by teenagers, it's very defeating.
Oh man,
We love Gentry.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna build up my Lumineth. I'm gonna do what I can.
and then you just
Yeah,
beat
now you're gonna start beating us.
Yeah.
Just whooping us on the board.
Realizing.
Actually, I think I'm gonna shift gears here and just go spam Dark Oath Raiders list.
Hey, I can build you a list. There's a way to make this work.
I wanted to. My ultimate goal is to spam Goblin Wolf Riders.
Yeah.
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 I'll do that someday. Yeah.
Well, props
Sun
to
Steelers?
Cox. Man, love the dude. It was a fun game. We were just laughing the whole
my
time.
It sounds like the Hawgpit was actually a great tournament for a GT, affordable, doable. Like it's easy to transport yourself there. Very, very manageable tournament to get into. So hopefully, that grows and grows and grows. So we probably got to be ending the show here, trying to do that type of bit. Let's talk about what's on the horizon just real quick. The date of recording this is March 26th? 26th, 2026. What's in the next month's horizons for Warhammer Gaming in either our community or who wants to say the next thing?
Yeah, I can talk a little bit about it. So there are a number of other tournaments going on here in the future. The next one that is that is a 2-day event and is a GT is taking place in Edmond, Oklahoma, which is just outside of Oklahoma City. So it's about 2.5 hours from NWA, depending on who's driving and how they're feeling.
That's Taxman, right?
That's Taxman.
All right.
Very good. Every year they do a great job of hosting it over there. The idea behind Taxman is you don't pay till you get to the door because we're waiting on that sweet tax refund. So then, of course, we also have. That's probably the next nearest one. We have a GT here in RTT, so one-day tournament in April. I think the third week of April. Is that right? Is that when we do our RTTs?
That'd be the 18th of April.
The 18th, yes. Which is unfortunate because I would be there. I'd be in there like tomorrow, but that is the day of our closing night for the local theater. I don't know what that I get to manage and oversee. So I will be finishing up a musical whilst the homies do be playing. But those are the two. It will be. I will cry. I'm gonna weep actually, knowing me. Those are the two nearest ones. I'm not gonna go into May yet because that's a little bit too far off.
Cool. Anybody got anything else to add on to the end of the episode before I create our signature sign off?
Yeah, I'm gonna say that is Moodang is what Bob's little hippos are based off of. Is Moodang. That's probably the most important fact out of this entire episode.
You sat on that for so long.
Yeah. I was waiting until the very end.
I got a shout out. Shout out to Games Explosion for hosting the GT Hawgpit.
Yes.
Shout out to Chris, Dion, owners of the store. Love those guys. It's great that they see the love that the local community has for Age of Sigmar, and they want to support that. And that's awesome to see that they're so involved in that and spreading the word about it. But yeah, shout out to them. Game Explosion in Springdale. Check it out if you're in the Northwest Arkansas area. It's awesome. Lots of cars being sold there. Lots of the models being sold there. It's a great place to go for all your needs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, we are signing off this episode. We are rolling in the Ozarks here with Gentry, Josh, Hubble, and me, Randy. We hope to see you again soon.
See y'all later.